Hello and welcome to the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 13th of January, 2016. Hope you're having a good week. Here's a look at the the ES front-month futures contract daily chart. You'll notice we are now 9 bars down on a new startup phase, and we paused a little bit for the session today. So possibly a little reversal due in the markets here as we head. It would be a good timing for it. We're heading into options unraveling potentially on Wednesday, and if they don't do it Wednesday, it's Thursday. That's for the expiration, January options expiration, which is this Friday. So if you had a move in the market in one direction and you come up against options expiration, a lot of times the unravel will move you back the other way. So it'll be interesting to see what we get. Crude oil closed down at 30.72, still very near the lows, also 9 bars down. Startup phase there. Gold, on the other hand, down 7.3. S&P gained 15. It gapped up, headed lower eventually, and then came back and closed right where it started. Had a lot of days this year where we've closed right where we've opened the session. NDX gained 50, and that kind of keeps it just barely above the prior day's range. SOX gained only 5 points. That's really nothing there. Biotechs, we'll talk about this on the IBB in a minute. Well, we can do it right here. Biotech index plus 44.84. Again, I talked about this last night, the inverted cup formation and the threat to completely break down here. It'd be interesting if we get a little reversal here first because of the options unravel. We could either form what would be a handle or a bear flag on this chart and then break down, and that would be even more catastrophic for the market. Remember, as go banks and biotechs, so goes the market. The VIX down $1.83 to 22.47. The TRIN closed at 0.95, bringing the moving average back down to 1.45. NASDAQ volume almost 2 billion shares, 1.945 billion. Still been good volume ever since we came back for the new year for the most part. Advanced decline ratio, this was interesting. It was plus like 1,600 on the NASDAQ to open the day, plus 1,800 on the, plus 1,600 on the NASDAQ, yeah, plus 1,800 on the New York to open the day. If I flip this to a 5-minute chart, you can see what ended up happening. We started out very positive. This is the NASDAQ advanced decline. Came back down, went all the way to the red, and with only about 30 minutes left, we were actually holding in the red. Same thing on the New York advanced decline, which actually did close negative. Okay, but what's interesting is, remember, as I said, and here's the intraday look real quick at the ES. You know, we started the session on a gap up. We closed almost exactly at that level. When we started the session there, we were plus 1,800 advanced decline-wise on the NASDAQ. When we closed the session there, we were negative. So even though the price came back up, more stocks down than up, and it changed by 1,900. That's not good market breadth for that move. All right, let's go back to the daily charts here and wrap this part up. So Google, a little bit of a bounce with the market up 12 points. Apple up $1.43, almost closing back at 100. Amazon up a boring 15 cents. Netflix up $1.61. Remember, I came into the week expecting Wednesday and Thursday to be the better trading days of the week. There's a couple of reasons for that. We've got a lot more economic data due. We've had almost nothing so far this week. So on Wednesday, we've got the MBA mortgage index, which is at 7 a.m., not a big deal. We've got crude oil inventories. But then in the afternoon, you got the Fed Beige Book and Treasury budget, both at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's when everybody comes back from lunch. Watch out. That can move the market, especially if we've got the options unraveling move occurring. And remember, that starts after the first hour's play. If it's going to occur, whatever direction you get from that point, if there's volume holding up in the market, will tend to carry you through all the way till the end of the session. And then Thursday and Friday, we still have a lot of economic data due. We'll talk about that in tomorrow night's preview. All right, let's look at the intraday action here, purely on the ES one more time. We'll go to the 5-minute candles, and you can see that, again, we gapped up. We tried to push higher for about 20 minutes. You never like the gap and go days. Rolled over instead, came back, filled the gap, wiggled around over lunch. We were trying to make new lows coming out of lunch, and then, boom, came back up. And like I said, hit basically the opening level. NASDAQ side, almost the exact same thing. Is what it is. All right, so again, more data tomorrow. It could be options unravel. A lot of things, I think, to show promise and potentially get us a nice trading day for tomorrow and hopefully Thursday. Friday is going to be a waste of time as we have options expiration itself heading into a long weekend. Markets are closed Monday for Martin Luther King, so we have everybody leaving early on Friday. So they're going to get this unraveled on Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll try to make some money off of that. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. If you do find these videos useful, please like them on YouTube. It does help us out. Have a great trading Wednesday.